What's up, everybody? My name is Fortefyre, and I wanted to take the time to sit down in front of the camera and personally say thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting me and helping us get to 4,000 subscribers. For anybody who doesn't know, I started this back in 2016 with no clear objective in mind. It was just me reviewing video games, kind of in some weird way trying to be like the AVGN, like a lot of people do, you know? There's a lot of people who come on, they try to be funny, they try to be witty, they try to be clever, and make videos that, for the most part, are just carbon copies or failed attempts at being the AVGN. And I realized that I was doing that and I separated from it. In fact, I went on the internet and I looked up videos that I thought I would be interested in seeing, and they didn't impress me. So I sat down and I was like, fuck it, I can do it better. And so that's where the 10 game series came into play, and luckily on Christmas last year, I was given a gift of YouTube partnership. My viewership went up tremendously, and every single day I get the opportunity to hopefully teach you something about video games or remind you of a simpler time in your life. And you can live that vicariously through me, through my Twitch stream or the YouTube live stream when I play these games. So thank you so much. It's been a crazy, insane ride, and you know, it's kind of cool to have my kids go to school and be like, my dad's a YouTube partner. Kind of gives me a little it makes me feel good. But yeah, none of this is possible without y'all, so thank you so much for taking the time to comment, to subscribe, to like the videos, even when I know you probably don't, because I have some really controversial hot takes. But the good thing about me is that I stand by them. I'm not going to apologize for my feelings about games that I'm experiencing for the first time. And I play a wide variety of stuff. We go all the way back to the 70s and we go all the way to now. And I noticed some comments said, hey, are you only going to focus on older stuff? No, I'm not. It's a matter of what I play. And obviously we're starting with older games, and at some point we're going to get to newer games. And that is all up to the viewers. It's up to y'all what we play, especially the Twitch guys, because those are the guys who affect the games that I play. So if you do want to do that, if you want to affect the games that I play, make sure you go head over to Twitch. There's things you can do if you're a subscriber. You can manipulate my game board. You can make games overrides with enough channel points. Make them essentially must plays, which is cool. And yeah, that's basically it. That's basically it. I want to go through some of the projects too, because some of y'all might not know that these projects exist. First off is Every Game Ever, basically covering a specific topic. I will be making that for every console that I own. I own 68 consoles, so there's going to be a wide variety in that regard. Obviously, everybody knows the 10 games. As soon as I have 10 games that I like or 10 games I hate, I'll make one of those videos. Also, we have the Ready Go Gaming Show, which is a deep dive docuseries about companies, franchises, and genres. Feel free to check that out. We also have the Generations episodes. Those episodes talk about the entire generation of gaming, to include all of the consoles that were present during that time. That's one of my favorite videos. In my opinion, it's the best videos that I do. High production value, a lot of people pitch in to make that possible. So if you want to check that out, be my guest. It's a good time. We also have Ready Go Gaming Show Special, which are smaller companies that made smaller footprints on the industry. And then we have Legends, which is a relatively new one. I'm working on the Al Lowe series right now. I was just sick as a dog whenever it happened, so I'm not really impressed how it turned out, but I want to make sure that it's good for y'all. So that should come out soon as well. And then, yeah. Our next milestone is 8,000 subscribers. 8,000 subscribers. And I don't know if we'll make that happen, not within this year, but we will try our hardest to get there. And I'll continue to make the videos that I make every single day. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart for believing in me and allowing me to do this crazy journey and make insane videos about how much I hate Shinobi. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at my game room. This is the video that y'all voted on, so walk with me as I describe the insanity that is my game room. So I'm dubbing over this because my kids are lunatics, and the only way I can record footage like this and talk about it is if they're not here. But this is the game room, this is the media room, this is where all the kids come and play video games. This is where I work every single day. This is my workstation. It's not very complex, it's relatively simple. A desk with 2 monitors, a camera, and the microphone. In this case, I use a dual monitor setup with an Alpha 6000 camera. That's how I live stream. It goes through a cam link. We have a stream deck. That's where I control everything. My headphones, my computer. I use an 8-bit DOE to control all the emulated games, which is nice. And I got a Creative Vision, or my bad, Interactive Vision down there. Let's see, what else do we have? I see an analog pocket. This is my microphone setup. It's a red Dynamite stick, which is a Phantom Power Supply and a Shure SM7B. And then, oh yeah, My antidepressants, those are important. You need those. Those things, those 3 bottles keep me alive every single day. Down here, this is how I capture games. It's a RetroTink 5X, which is a wonderful asset to have. Then over here, we have the Kids Nook. We have 2 TVs. The one on the left is a Mickey Mouse CRT. The one on the right is a Space Age TV from the 70s. I actually got this from a Goodwill. It was a lucky find. Wonderful TV, still works very well. Then we have my Hitachi VCR. That's what I do for Action Max and any VCR related stuff. Sometimes the kids watch movies. Got a V-Smile there too and a Microvision. We have I think that's a PSVR and then a Coleco something another. No, that's an APF Telefon. Then we have an Action Max and a VTech Socrates and a Microvision. Space is definitely a thing that sucks for me, so I try to work it out the best that I can. We got a binder. This is my Game Boy collection. And if you're ever wondering how to store your Game Boy games, this is a great way to do it. Just go out there and get the card sleeves, and you just pop games in there. They do tend to slide out, so I try to keep it upright to avoid any mishaps, because those games aren't cheap. Looks like I got a Benetton TV Master Mark IV over there. And then just like extra storage for whatever else I can't find room for. That's just the way that it is for me. Then I have this little auxiliary shelf. I was entertaining the idea of putting some of my systems on shelves. I have a Game Boy SP, 2 DSs, a Play It Loud, that's a cool one. And then that's the Game Boy Color from my childhood. I love that, played the shit out of it. And then a Wonder Swan. And then of course, we have the painting someone did for me of Link. This insanity over here is my organization system for all of the various cables that I have. You know, proper professional video game YouTubers should have an organization system. And mine is fucked. Kind of just throw things wherever I can. So in each of these drawers will have different controllers, different wires. I have some that are specifically for SCART cables, RGB cables, RCA cables, stuff that's quick for me to get. Whenever I do change systems on screen, you'll see me frantically opening up every single one of these drawers, because at one point in time, I did manage to have a fairly decent organization system, but once you let kids go in here and start messing around and rooting around, things get moved around and there's nothing you can do about it, right? I'm not too mad at them. So yeah, there's just all that bullshit there. Then we have the infamous wall. On the top, I have my more expensive games like Torrens Passage, a Sierra 5-in-1, stuff like that. We have Genesis. Genesis is great to store because we can do it either horizontally or vertically. In my case, I'm running out of space, so I do it horizontally for at least the loose carts. Then we get to the CIB NES stuff, which isn't much. We got some Sega Master System. I see 2 PSPs up there. They probably don't work. Then we've got Genesis Inbox, which is nice. And then we go down to our Sega CD collection, which will inevitably bleed into the NES collection. I do have a sizable NES collection. It's not as much as I would want, but it's there. Again, this is another cartridge format that we can store either horizontally or vertically. And when we do System Shock episodes, I'll kind of discuss the best way to store these, or at least I'll try to. Got some Super Nintendo going into Nintendo 64. Then we have GameCube, Wii, Xbox 360, and I got a few Xbox One games, but I don't tend to play Xbox One on the stream. On the right wall, we got some more stuff. Got some Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI. I see the anthologies, whatever that is. This is pretty cool. This is the first piece of fan art that I ever got. It was beadwork from one of my friends up in Canada, and I cherish that tremendously. I got Final Fantasy VII Remake that I've never opened up, and I probably never will, because I'll probably never get to it. Alright, we have PS1, which I store vertically and horizontally, depending on how much room that I need. Let's see what we got here. Oh, it's my dad's Mattel Football 2. I love this thing. When I want to be reminded of him, I sit down and I play this. It's really nice. As you can see, I have a blend of Japanese and American games, but I don't have that many Japanese games. This is the largest library I have, by the way. PS2. I've been collecting PS2 games since college, so PS2 takes up a majority of my wall, and on my list, it's the largest collection that I have. And the problem is that even with all of these games I have, it's not even a dent on the total amount of games that were in the PS2 library. So, fingers crossed we'll be playing some more of these, because I'd like to get through them. Then we have PS3. And at the very bottom, we have PS4. I own a PS5, but I don't have any PS5 games. All right, this is the system area. That's a very filthy Wii U. I'm gonna remove that. That's gross. All right, we have a Sega Master System, which is cool. Famicom Disk System. There's a Mega Drive here. Let's see, what is this? This is a Nintendo 64 and then a TurboGrafx 16. Down there we have a ColecoVision, an MSX2, a PS2, and a little Nomad that's kind of peeking behind there. Now I'm going to toddle my fat ass to the right because I'm old. We have a 32X, a Game Gear, Super Famicom, a Model 2 Genesis, I think. Yeah, it's Model 2 Genesis. Then we have a Sega CD and a Super Nintendo peeking out back there. We have a PS2, we have an NES, a CDI, and a 3DO. Over here we've got a Hyperscan just awkwardly sticking out there because there's no practical way to store it. We've got one of my two PS1s, a Jaguar, and my Japanese Nintendo 64. We have a Neo Geo, this is the consoleized MVS, a Neo Geo CD, and the PCFX, which is a console I don't have any games for because they're all porn. It's my dad's Xbox. We have a PC Engine, an Atari, a TI-99. We have a Intellivision and a 360. And then down here we have a Saturn, two Dreamcasts, one of which is Japanese, a Game Gear, and an Xbox. Then we're going over to our overflow area. This is where I just kind of put things there that I want. This Digital Devil Story Megami Tensei 1, which is a great game. You should play it. We have my Atari 2600 stuff, which I exclusively vertically stacked because it just makes sense. Then we have our Famicom stuff. Look how beautiful Famicom carts are. It's like a rainbow. It's an assorted rainbow of buffoonery. What do we have here? Let's see. We have 1942. I think that's the Commodore 64 version. And then I also have the Amstrad CPC version. Both of these are cassette tapes. More Famicom games, and looks like I got Sims 3. What the fuck? Dude, I was looking for this. I straight up just paid $34 goddamn dollars. All right. Super Famicom. We've got some PSP, but it looks like I'm going to jump down and show you all the Microvision down there. We have some 3DO, CDI, Sega Pico or Pico, and then these are the ones that people want to steal all the time. This is the Neo Geo area. Got Game Gear up here. This is TurboGrafx 16 and PC Engine software, as well as Game Boy Advance, and the 1DS game that I have. I have some limited PC software. Most of my stuff is digital, and that's the complete library of the Action Max, which is interesting. I also have a Saturn overflow and a Dreamcast overflow. I just recently moved 32X over here because I needed more space. Over here, we've got Odyssey 2. Looks like 17800 games, some MSX. It's really hard to see, but those are 32X games. And then we've got Saturn titles over here. And then some Longbox PS1. And then all the way at the bottom, I have my CIB Original Run Neo Geo games. And I have a few of them. Looks like Metal Slug. a few really solid ones. And that's enough for me today. Again, guys, thank you so much for 4,000 subscribers. Here's to the 8,000 mark. And again, thank you so much for helping me reach that milestone. I hope that together we'll be able to reach 8,000 and continue to explore video games the way that we've been doing every day for the last 6 years. As always, from my family to your family, good energy, good vibes. Fortefyre out.